whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today, but if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace. What's up, everybody? Welcome to a pre-recorded edition of Gavin Richard Presents. We have breaking news to report to you today. Amid the controversy that's going on in New York, Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York, 56th governor of New York, has decided to step down from his post. That is correct. According to, I believe I'm reading right here from the AP, Cuomo has stepped to resign, I believe, within 14 days over sexual harassment allegations. The allegations, of course, stem from various things, including some groping allegations that he set to face by one of his accusers, who I believe was a former aide. You also have over 11 women that have come forward, or 10 other women, I should say, additionally, that have come forward to accuse the governor of being touchy McFeely. Now, it states here, 63-year-old Democrat emphatically denied intentionally mistreating women and called the pressure for his ouster politically motivated. But he said that fighting back in his too hot political climate would subject the state to months of turmoil. The best way I can help now is if I step aside and let government get back to governing. What is interesting is that as he is set to step down, which will take effect in 2 weeks, they will have Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul, who is a 62-year-old Democrat, who will become the 57th governor of New York and the first woman to hold the post. That's Kathy Hochul. So that tells me already why this is why I think there's a hint of truth, being that this is politically motivated, because we know, especially in this era of Me Too and Time's Up, most people don't know this, but the boss that is in charge of Time's Up just actually stepped down. Her name, and there was a lady that resigned before that, a black woman. This woman, Roberta Kaplan, who was an aide to Cuomo. Now, you have basically 2 or 3 degrees of separation of different people that's tied to your Andrew Cuomo. Now, I do not live in New York. We know Sean, who's always been a guest, he lives out in New York, and essentially he has been critical of your Andrew Cuomo, especially in the last year or so, due to the fact that as the mayor, as the governor of California, that he has been behind all of this, and this stuff in the nursing home scandals that has been going on. He has been very critical of Andrew Cuomo, as have I, especially when he refused aid because of the issue with Donald Trump, or his issues with Donald Trump. You put aside party politics when it comes to death. When your country is under attack, when your nation's under attack, everybody's supposed to come together. That's what they at least tell us. And Cuomo did not want to do that. And I noticed this was the Time's Up leader, That looks like that tranny that the guy, that veteran was going out against, that was going against in that video I shared. But she had to step down. In a tweet, Roberta Kaplan stated that stepping down as chairman was the right thing to do. Kaplan, a woman's right advocate who has a law practice of her own, counseled the administration last winter where Cuomo was hit with the first of the harassment allegations leveled by a former economic development advisor, Lindsey Boylan. Both Kaplan and Alfonso David, leader of the Human Rights Campaign, were consulted over a letter the Cuomo administration had drafted attacking Boylan's credibility. Kaplan and David agreed to review the letter. Now, those that don't know, the Human Rights Campaign is the largest LGBTQ. Uh, they say it's a human rights campaign, but it's really a gay rights organization. They are the largest active civil rights organization in the country. I am not exaggerating that. You can go look online. They get some multi-million dollar donations from various corporations like Coca-Cola, I believe Hormel's Chili. I've done a lot of research on this, and they are worth billions. Now, of course, being that they are a 50C, they do not have to pay civil, obviously, taxes, but it is an LGBTQ, it is a political organization, it is a lobbyist for these things. And they have been tied, your Alfonso David has been tied to Andrew Cuomo, and a report that was released by the New York Attorney General Letitia Tish James described current HRC President Alfonso David's effort to try and cover up these sexual harassment claims against Cuomo. Prior to joining HRC, David was chief counsel to Cuomo and undermined the credibility of accusers. You all can take a look at that right here. Let me get my pretty face off of this, and I'm going to show and share with you all. So this is it here. This is on Wikipedia. Now, Wikipedia is not the most reliable, but this is still verified from the Associated Press report. So different people, including Times, were in disgust over this. For instance, if you read the AP's report discussing Kaplan's role, you had someone that wrote in a letter, "Time's Up should be ashamed," the letter stated. The person who wrote this letter, Allison Turcos, who's an activist, organized the letter and said sexual assault victims feel they have been abandoned by purported advocates who are secretly working for the other side. How are you telling survivors? Let me pull it up so you guys can see. I'm going back and forth. I know it bees like that sometimes. How are you telling survivors we are a safe space for you? Come to us, but behind closed doors, you're handling abusers. You are handing abusers a playbook of how to cover up and retaliate against your victims. Asked Turcos, whose letter was signed by dozens of self-described victims, including Cuomo accuser Charlotte Bennett. In her resignation letter, Kaplan said she had reluctantly come to the conclusion that an active law practice is no longer compatible with serving on the Times Up board. She added, unfortunately, recent events have made it clear that even our apparent allies in the fight to advance women can turn out to be abusers, a reference to Cuomo's public support of the Me Too movement, which includes his signing of sweeping new protections in 2019 against sexual assault harassments. And yeah, Cuomo looks like a damn hypocrite, obviously, doing this because, he supported all of this stuff, and yet he's being accused of doing the same things at the same time. And he's passed laws and legislations. And let's not forget how his brother treated Bill Cosby's attorney, Jennifer Bojan, on live TV when Bill Cosby's appeal was granted by the Pennsylvania State Supreme Court. The conviction was overturned. But they founded, Kaplan co-founded Time's Up Legal Defense Fund, which helps women who have been subjected to sexual harassment and discrimination in the workplace. Now, here's my whole take on it, guys, and what I'll give you the straight skinny. The reason why this thing is so hypocritical is that if you noticed and remembered exactly when all of this stuff was going on, and by stuff, so I'm not talking about the sexual harassment things. I'm talking about before that. Cuomo, as governor of New York, was aware of people living in these nursing homes during the COVID pandemic, and they knew that these people were dying from this virus. Those are the elderly, someone's grandfather, someone's grandmother, and he covered this up. Now he was exonerated. I don't know if you could say exonerated, but they found that what happened was they found that there was no wrongdoing on Cuomo's part. And the New York Post actually have here, they actually says here, this is a New York Post, it's good Cuomo's gone, but don't forget the nursing home scandal. Everybody is focused on this Me Too thing, but not the nursing home scandal where you had hundreds of people that died. Nobody's focused on that. This is the article, this is written by Janice Dean. I'm giving you my white source. Hold on. See, it's research. It's out there. I'm paraphrasing and I'm going to read through it, but she says here, this is in part, sending COVID positive patients into nursing homes for 46 days helped kill thousands of elderly, including my husband's parents. So maybe she's not the most impartial journalist out there to do this, because obviously she has emotionally tied to this. But you see here, these lives matters. People are upset over this. Remember, Cuomo had the opportunity to actually accept aid. As I stated earlier, I believe the USS ship that was parked outside New York that could have acted as a hospital, Navy ship. Donald Trump actually proposed that, and he declined to accept it because of a political association with Donald Trump, just because I don't like Trump. They have a Trump obsession, as what Sean James said. People have a Trump obsession and treat Donald Trump as if he were the devil incarnate. Now, that is not to say that I agreed with everything Donald Trump has said and done. I certainly don't care for his rhetoric, but if you're making everything that happened that tied to Donald Trump as a result, from COVID, whether you're talking about racial prejudice, whether you're talking about racial profiling, anything that's bad that's happening in this country, the debt that we've been into, all of these things have been going on before he was even president. Yes, he may have been the catalyst to some of it and obviously led to some of these things going on, but to tie him to this with no evidence, and then not with no evidence, but to tie him with this just so that you can look good and you put people's lives at risk, that's a problem. The problem is not Donald Trump. The problem is you. You're actually worse. Because at least Trump, I could say this, he shows his hand every time you deal with him. He's the worst gambler at the poker table. He shows his cards. He has no poker face. He denied aid to these people. And let's not forget, his brother was praising him like he was, his brother, of course, helping with that. He was praising him. Remember that media was all praising Andrew Cuomo like he was going to be the next president. The next presidential candidate you were going to see for the Democratic ticket was going to be Andrew Cuomo. He rode in on a white horse, and guess what? He leaves on a white rat. He's riding a big white rat right now. And his name is not Ben. So, and honestly, like I said, I'm disgusted by what I've seen in the media and press, how everyone is focused on the allegations that he's facing. And I'm not saying that there is, whether there's truth to it or not. Some of it may be true, some of it could be false. As a lawyer, again, I say there's a presumption of innocence. But just on the scandal in the nursing homes alone, that should have been enough for the assembly in New York to gather, but yet they gathered over some sexual assault allegations, over sexual harassment. Well, he made a pass at me. He tried to touch my boobs. He kissed me on the cheek. I'm not saying that that behavior is permissible by no means, but you see how the media reacts to one thing. They treated this actually more important or more gravity. They gave more gravity than they did the deaths of hundreds of people in nursing homes. And all of this because I think the reason why they want a female governor. I think that's the I'm when he says it's politically vote motivated, I think Cuomo may have an argument there in regards to that with this Time's Up thing because a female governor would be great in New York. I'm just thinking. This is my mind is moving. Maybe this might be something that's politically motivated. I frankly think that yeah, that could be true because for him to be governor for 3 terms, everybody's just saying this now. Then we got this situation, with his brother Chris Cuomo, he tried to cover it up or tried to help him out, and he admitted it. He was sorry for putting his CNN uh, cohorts and his co-workers in a jam, but he said, "Hey, I'm family first." And you know what? That is how you have to be. You do have to be family first. But Chris Cuomo should not be working as a journalist at CNN right now. I don't like Chris Cuomo. I had somebody ask me earlier, said, Gavin, you support the, how is it you could be against what they did with Cosby versus you and how you're treating Chris Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo? Because I wrote on my Facebook page, one Cuomo down, another one to go. My issue with Chris Cuomo has nothing to do with, or Andrew Cuomo has nothing to do with those allegations, but the fact that you all are quiet about the nursing home scandals. You have said nothing. You all have said very little about these nursing home scandals that happened. And CNN was a part of it because CNN was the one that actually, when Chris Cuomo had his brother on CNN and they're laughing and giggling, I'm proud of you, you saved lives and all this stuff. He was taking lives, supposedly. So what I think will happen, my final thoughts on this as I'm winding down because I'm getting ready to actually do a live stream as you guys will be seeing this video. I think that this woman, this Lieutenant Governor Hochul, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, Kathy Hochul, she's going to become governor. This is an election year. She's going to, I think she's going to finish out his term, obviously, and more than likely she will run for governor. I think that they're pushing for this thing because now they have, of course, AOC who represents New York City in Congress. You have uh, de Blasio out in New York. Of course, there are people that are tired of de Blasio, especially with his vaccine mandate, or I should say the jab mandate. And you have Kathy Hochul, who will be governor, who's a female. And I think that's perfect for them to set up so that they can get ready for uh, the election this year. So it may be politically motivated, but I find it interesting, again, how we react to very quickly to allegations as if they are, and take them as if they're the gospel according to Mark. And we also have a situation where people are dying, people have died, and yet they are ignored by the national media and the press because there's a selective interest to push certain agendas in mainstream television and mainstream television programming on these various networks. So the truth is out there, ladies and gentlemen. Do your research and do not be swayed by those in the media and press as if they are honest and if they are doing they have journalistic integrity. Because while there may be some who do, some clearly don't and have their own agendas written for you. So this was another quick edition of Gavin Reshaw Presents. Here, a video version. It's been a while since I put a video up, but Governor Cuomo actually resigned. Governor Andrew Cuomo has resigned as the 56th governor of the state of New York. Kathy Hochul, Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul, will take over as the 57th governor of New York, and it'll be interesting to see what happens in this next year or so. All right, well, guys, that'll be it. If you please feel free to donate to the channel. Tune in later tonight when my live stream drops. I'll be talking with Al Lanier about the death of Billie Holiday. But all right, I'll talk to you guys soon. I'll holla. Peace.